Where in this country?
Is this damage control?
Well, maybe he could have went to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, it's true.
That's right now.
What a segue that was. That wasn't really a segue. That wasn't really a segue, Robbie.
Right now, Saudi Arabia is on the attack. They are taking big names. Now, we already knew there was Cristiano Ronaldo, and then they went Benzema. And I said it about a few weeks ago. I go, what when they start coming for younger players? Yeah. And they've done that now. Ruben Neves, he's had his medical and he's going to be joining Al Hilal in Saudi Arabia. Personal terms agreed. Remember, Ruben Neves, only 26. He's signing a 3-year deal. Wolves are going to get £47 million, so great for them. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because they're getting the max money for the player. He'll be on some unbelievable wages. And another player going to Saudi Arabia. N'Golo Kante is on his way there from Chelsea. Also, we've been told Koulibaly looks set to sign for one of them clubs in Saudi Arabia.
Ziyech as well.
And Ziyech as well is being looked at. And Edouard Mendy. All these signings, 4 of those signings there, coming from Chelsea. Now... This now...
You lot are spamming that, bro.
Now, all of a sudden...
Disgusting.
All of a sudden, there's been accusations made against Chelsea. He's shaking.
You lot are disgusting.
He's shaking there. But there's been accusations made against Chelsea because what it is, it turns out that there's the Saudi investment fund have invested money in the company that owns Chelsea. Now, all of a sudden, Chelsea, who we know had big problems and needed to offload a load of players before the end of this month, Koulibaly's heading there. Kante's heading there. Well, I know Kante was on a free, so, right, but he's heading there, right? Ziyech could be heading there. I mean, you put a tweet out yesterday, Matisse, saying, I'm hearing people are crying that Saudis want Champions League level players in Ziyech, of Ajax, he put Koulibaly of Napoli and Aubameyang of Barcelona.
not the one of Chelsea.
Cedric Lokonga. No, dude, that's crazy, bro.
Oh, you're about passing, Matisse.
What are Chelsea up to with this? Come on, Matisse, explain this now. Saudis have invested money in Chelsea. Now, all of a sudden, this looks like another Todd Boehly loophole. Before we've seen the previous 8-year contracts and stuff like that, which has been shut down. Now he's sending players to Saudi Arabian teams that have the same Saudi companies that's invested in Chelsea. What's going on?
I think it's fair to say that, first of all, Saudi have invested in Clear Lake Capital,
which owns Chelsea.
And yes, as that consortium, Todd Boehly representing Boehly, they own us. So it's going through, another company.
But it's Chelsea.
Now. It's not really us, because if they directly invested in us,
it's the company that owns Chelsea.
Yeah, but if they directly invested in us, they're invested in a company that they have representatives.
And then all of a sudden now, Chelsea are offloading a load of their players over to the same people who invested.
I think people are trying to do a lot here, because at the end of the day, Saudi are investing in Muslim players, right, at the moment, a lot of them, and they're trying to grow their game. Now, we were never to foresee that Saudi were going to do this. It's just come about that they want to become China 2.0 and they want to invest. Now, Koulibaly is a massive name. One of the biggest, probably, Muslim players out there. Same goes for, Champions League winning Mendy in terms of goalkeeping. And the same goes for, Ziyech as well, of Ajax, and Kante. These are not small players. We're not selling academy products for 50 million to Saudi. That's dodgy. But once we sell these players to them, we're not going to sell Gallagher to them. Lukaku's rejected them. We're not getting all our own way.
But hold on. Would you be the sort of money you're getting for, say, a Koulibaly?
We're not getting that much money.
Would you have got that for elsewhere? Would you have even had anybody who take on those players right now on the wages that they're on?
Yeah.
The players would probably be going on loan to Serie A at best. Yes. But they're not bad players. That doesn't mean they're bad players.
But Saudis are taking them.
Saudis taking a lot of
massive
players.
wages.
No, hold on. No one was interested in Ronaldo. Ronaldo went to Saudi.
No, but hold on.
No one complained about that.
Let me just ask you specifically on the Chelsea players, right? So Koulibaly, what's he on per week?
Probably about 290k.
290k.
Yeah.
What other club?
What other club would have come for Ronaldo?
What other club in European football would have taken Koulibaly, looking at his form last year, on £290,000.
That'd be less money.
There's a lot of clubs.
Lot
There's
less
a
money.
lot
A
of.
lot
Hold on
less.
a second. Hold on a second.
No, but then he wouldn't move, would he? He'd be like,
Yeah.
I'm staying
Exactly.
in. So that's
But
what I'm saying now. Now we
It's
can
easy for
go
them to move the players.
get more wages.
That's not. There's loads of players that have gone to Saudi that would not. Where would they be going? Where would Kante? Have you seen any offers for Kante? Have we seen any offers from European
No,
teams?
because-
Hold on. Have we seen any teams offer Ronaldo what he wants? No.
Why do you keep bringing Ronaldo up?
Because
wanna
hold on. The
focus
reason,
on the Chelsea players.
because why are we focusing on the Chelsea players?
Because there's quite a few.
No, but there's
Mendy-
other examples coming from other clubs that we don't pay attention to. Neves is going there.
Yeah.
No one's coming with a bid for
Okay.
Neves.
Name me another club that's got about 3-4
Well,
players.
that's just
linked with-
fortunate that we have 3 Muslim players that they're interested in. Like
Muslim?
I said, a lot of Muslim players are going there.
Neves is not Muslim.
Well, like I said, it's easier for Muslim
Listen,
players to
man,
go over
come
there
on, man, own up to this now.
because
I know you're
it's
under
easier for them to
the.
go.
I know it's not you. You
Bro.
seem to be under the cosh.
Bro, there's not a lot of
He's
players.
like he's
We're
in
not
the dock
getting
right now.
But the thing is, the players are on high wages because we've overpaid them. We're not getting 50. We're not getting 50 million for Koulibaly.
What
We're
a-
not getting 50 million for Mendy. Like
but
we're
the
selling
fact
them
is-
at a loss.
wages.
The fact is
wages.
you're getting rid of those wages.
Yeah.
You've got problems at the moment with financial fair play. So getting those wages off the bill, 290k a week for Koulibaly.
Yeah.
Kante must be on at least 200. What's he on?
He's probably on like 300.
300 grand a week.
But he's free agent.
Right.
And he deserves to because he was one of the best players in the world.
Also,
Same
who
money
else?
as Saka.
Edouard Mendy. What's he on?
Probably like 30k. Not on much. Didn't get a new contract. What are you getting at here, Robbie?
Well, I know,
I'm
right?
getting on. It sounds dodgy. That's
It
what I'm
does,
getting
and
on.
you know what else? Just to add to this, right? We were all laughing at Chelsea for spending £500 million, right? We're like, why are they doing this? This is unprecedented. No one spends this much money. But it makes sense if they know at the end of the season they're going to be offloading this many players and all their wages to a Saudi team. So this could have been in the line for a long time. You've got to remember, the people that own these clubs are businessmen, yeah? And they don't have plans for 6 months at a time. They have plans for 5 years, 1 year, 2 year, 3. They think ahead. So Boehly's went in here and he's already had this planned. I know he has, lad. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I just feel like it has aligned too much with it, lad. It definitely has.
For me, I think we need to stop dressing this thing up. And in the words of Ty, Chelsea are a disgrace and a cheat. Let's just say what this really is. They are opportunists, and there is a team, there is a state that is having an influx right now of players from around the world. I agree with your point there.
Why don't the rest of you do that?
What?
Why don't you
Get players. If someone comes in, yeah.
Why don't the rest of you fly to Saudi, have a meeting, and say you don't want Lukunga, you
great.
don't want Holding, you don't want Eric Bailly, you don't want Phil Jones or whoever you've got.
Yeah.
Why don't you go over there, fly there, have a meeting, and get rid of the players?
I'm not dissing the fact that the connection's there. I'm saying don't deny it. I'm saying let's not say that it's this or it's this.
Muslim players.
What the reason is? The reason is they've got money to give and you need to offload players.
Okay,
they got something
this is
you
business.
want. You got something they want. It's transactional.
But are these players not of value to what they're trying to build in Saudi, which is grow the game,
absolutely,
and grow the league? Are they not good players?
Absolutely.
If Chelsea didn't have Koulibaly, Kante, Ziyech, I'm not naming any bums. I'm naming very good top players. Right?
They're players that
Mendy.
you don't think are bums because you don't want them no more.
Yep, no, we have an oversized squad and we have too many players we need to get rid of. If we were Liverpool and we were trying to flog Harvey Elliott or Jones, do you think Saudi? Do you think
no, they're not going to want them players.
Do you think it would benefit?
I'm not.
Right,
I agree with that. I agree with that. But what I'm saying is that we can't just miss the fact that conveniently you've got to get rid of all these. That's what I'm saying. It's transactional.
And I think
I'm just saying it's purely business. I
think the big thing is there is that the
purely
Saudis. The Saudi investment,
we are fortunate.
The Saudi investment fund have invested in
Chelsea.
the company that owns Chelsea, and that's why it looks
a couple of percent.
That there is nothing.
And even if it's a couple of percent of millions and billions.
What companies do Kroenke or the Glazers run? What is to stop? There's no rule to say that Saudis can't invest in companies of the ownerships that you have.
Of course not.
Saudi
because we're just saying it looks a bit dodgy at the moment. This is a thing.
It's not really though when you take away the fact that everybody had a lot of scaremongering, a lot of fearmongering. Chelsea are not going to be able to comply with FFP. Chelsea are not going to be able to get rid of all these players. And unfortunately, whether you guys like it or not, there is a Saudi out there who are willing to buy a lot of players, and we have players they want to buy. You guys are just upset because it's kind of fortunate that it's happened for us. What you're saying is if you could offload as much players that we can to these people, you'd do it too. That's what you're saying. You would.
Yeah. And that's not my gripe. My gripe's not that. My gripe is let's not dress it up than anything other than what it is, which is a transactional situation between a state that has money to burn and want a hand to launch their World Cup bid in 2030. This is going to go massive for football in that region. That's why there's this influx of players in there versus a consortium or Todd Boehly, you know the dynamics more than me at Chelsea, that has come in, spent all that money, wasted all that money, and got a lot of players on the books that they have to trim this squad. And here's a proposition that presents Chelsea with the opportunity to get rid of these players just like that. It's just transactional. It's not to do with like Muslim players. It's easy. Yeah. I just think it's just purely business. You know why? Because Todd Boehly has proved already that he knows 100%. He's proved that he's fantastic at business. Let's be honest. He's proved that he can exploit loopholes. Enzo Fernandez, he got an extension the other day, triggered. So it's all to players signing 8-year contracts. Let's not act like Todd Boehly coming into Chelsea has just been a normal thing. He's just a superb businessman.
So he's not stupid.
No, that's what I'm saying. I didn't say he's stupid. I'm saying he's just a superb
because a lot of people, the narrative is that Boehly doesn't know what he's doing. He's very stupid. Then when he does something like this, people want to complain and start getting angry that he's found out.
This is
that's what I was saying.
The reason why I mention this a lot of Muslim players is because obviously Saudi is a Muslim practicing state, right? And they feel more comfortable obviously going over there, doing their practices, and obviously
of course
there's interest because they're a lot older and they're coming towards the end of their careers. We haven't got rid of Lukaku to Saudi. He's rejected them. We can't get Gallagher.
He's Muslim as well.
But you wanted to get rid of him.
We can't get Gallagher, but he feels like he's in his prime.
But hold on,
again,
though, it's a player you were looking to move on.
Yes,
to one of those. And let me just remind you as well, there's 4 clubs, right, that seem to be picking up all these players. And those are the 4 clubs that have been invested in by that same Saudi investment fund. Forget Newcastle for a minute. The Saudi investment fund
the same people that own Newcastle.
They are the same people that own Newcastle.
So where's the complaint?
Because these are your players going to these 4 clubs in particular.
These are the 4 clubs that are taking everyone. They took Benzema.
No, I do
they're
think
taking
it's
Ronaldo. They're taking everyone.
Let me get
top 4 clubs.
I agree with you that.
Let me rattle through some super chats. There's loads of them
China,
coming
then
in.
you do it to China.
Yeah.
Loads of them coming in. And don't forget to like the video if you're loving this. Right. Big up to Adrian Sheikh. He says, interesting to see that Partey sold over value to Saudi. But there's nothing about it. Double standards. Arsenal are paying 60 million for Havertz too. Well, Partey hasn't been sold yet.
But he's going, isn't
he? He could go. It depends
for above market money.
No, but you see, this is the point I'm trying to make here. It's different, right? All teams will possibly take advantage of it if they can offload a player that they're trying to get rid of. But I think the specifics in here where they have invested in Chelsea, then all of a sudden, all these Chelsea players are heading that way. It looks dodgy.
That adds some inverted
it's a business plan. That's what it is. You've both mutual beneficiaries from this. If they go, here's some money, and then when we give
another loophole.
It's
another loophole like the 8-year one that we heard.
But loopholes are there. That's what they are.
Let me